Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
And I'm Holly.
And our son Tucker is inside this 2022 Hyundai IONIQ5, perhaps the most awarded vehicle of 2022. And in this video, the three of us are going to take this electric vehicle around here in Tyler, Texas to see how it fits our family. This video is sponsored by Electron Portable EV Chargers. Electron supplied us with this 240 volt 32 amp portable charger for us to use, and it drastically cut down our home charging times. This particular charger has a 21-foot heavy-duty cord, NEMA 1450 plug for our house, J1772 for any mainstream EV on the market today. If you are interested in getting a portable charger for your EV and helping out the channel in the process, click the link down in the description below. All right, Holly, we can't talk about EVs without at least first alluding to or mentioning the fact, no engine because it's electric, but this one does get a very small, compact storage space under the hood here. Really good for storing the mobile electric charger that comes with it, 110 plug. We'll talk more about charging later. I'm sure you've got thoughts and opinions there, but what do you think of the styling of this thing? You've been very tight-lipped, so.
Always. So, well, I definitely think they're taking a risk with the design because I feel like there's no on the fence. Like you're either gonna love it or hate it, right? I really like it.
Yay!
But you know, I like cars that are unique. I like driving cars that nobody else has on the road, or there's very few on the road. And this definitely fits the bill for that. There's nothing like it. The little details are really interesting, like the lights are
very
like
pixelated
cubed and pixelated looking. It's not anything I've seen on any other vehicles. And then, of course, we've talked about the different, how it lights up here when you're doing.
This has got little LED lights in it. This actually is a charge indicator. When you've got it plugged up, it's got a few little squares that light up as you're charging it to show you the progress up front, as well as back there by the plug. You've driven it around without me.
Yeah.
Have you noticed people doing double takes on you?
You know, I didn't, which kind of surprised me. But like my friends and stuff have been like, what is this? The color, I really like the color. Of
digital teal.
I like digital teal, but it kind of looks, depending on where the sun is shining, it can look greenish.
Yeah, it's gray here for me. It's very green here
right
for
there, yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun color. Is it a stock color?
Yep. So this factory color, this is like the color they're showing off in all the press videos and the B-roll on their website. This is the color they want to show off the car in. It does a great job of really accenting some of the lines on it. But you're a fan of the front, huh?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, every once in a while I'll catch it and I'll be like, is it pretty? And then I'm like, no, it is. It's cool. I like it.
Well, let's move around to the side because you mentioned they took a lot of risks up here in the front. They've also taken some risks on the side profile of this one as well.
Yeah.
All right. Side profile of the IONIQ5. Thoughts?
This is my favorite side.
Really?
Of it. Yes. Yeah. I like how this goes. I don't know what you call that, but I call it the
Very appropriate. You're going to make it very hard for me to spell that in the description of this video.
And it's got the lines going right here. It's got this little accent. All of it, I think, is nice and gives it a good side profile. But again, it doesn't look cheap, and it's not something that other cars are doing.
Very unique profile of this car. Hyundai is leaning into these angular lines. You weren't able to make the timing of our Tucson family review, but that one very much had all these creases in the side as well. Hyundai says that their IONIQ brand of vehicles, because this is the first but not the last of their all-electric IONIQ vehicles, will have styling unlike all the others. They won't look like just resized versions of the same thing. So
interesting.
Even in the Hyundai lineup, this is a very unique vehicle.
And it's even got the lines on the mirrors, the little lights.
Even these lights are pixelated.
Yeah.
So
the only thing that does make me nervous are the handles, which go in, but it feels like something that could break easy. I don't know. It probably isn't.
So these door handles, we do have it running because our son is inside chilling, literally, right now. But what I like about these door handles is with the proximity key, if you lock it and walk away, they're flush mounted as with while you're driving for aerodynamic purposes. But when you walk up, they pop out automatically. And I really like that. It's like the car's like, all right, let's get in and go. But they do fold forward, and there is a keyhole back behind the driver door for in case you need to very emergency get in because, well, you drove it too long and you killed the battery on it.
So now there are a few things about the car on the inside too, but on the outside that are like safety things that make me a little nervous, and that is one of them. That when you walk up, all the door handles come out. So it makes me nervous as a woman, like shopping, going into a parking lot, and all of my doors are accessible when I walk up to the car. I may be trying to get into the car quickly and closing the door behind me, which, that's one thing. I don't know if that can be changed or edited. I will look into that as you drive us around Tyler in a little bit. Last thing before we move to the back, what are your thoughts on the wheels? I like them.
Really?
I like them a lot. You don't like them?
No, I like them a lot too. I kind of liken them to like saw blades.
Yeah,
reverse
maybe.
saw blades.
That is not what I got, but
very dark black center section that while you're driving, this part looks like a saw blade spinning in my head. But very aerodynamic in purpose. And if you are gonna do a more solid looking wheel, I really like the way designers at Hyundai are thinking here with this.
Yep.
Why don't we move around to the very back and see some more pixels back there. All right, Holly, very back end. You said the side profile was your favorite. What are your thoughts on the back?
So this is my least favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Anytime I'm like, is it cute? It's always like from the back side.
Okay.
Even though it is still like really cool, and I really like the white IONIQ back here, and I like the pixelated. I think it's maybe just like this part.
This portion.
This area. I like this, how these come out, and I've liked all the cars that we had that have that come out.
Aerodynamic, so it lets air go down underneath it and up over it, so it really helps with the aerodynamic portions of this. I will note though,
maybe it's like a flat nose.
I will note, as we're talking about this rear spoiler, I drove in some very inclement weather in this vehicle. No rear wiper.
Oh yeah.
Was not a fan of that. So of things that really stuck with me, no rear wiper on this one, rendered this back window utterly useless. And it was a torrential downpour. We don't get weather that bad that often, but I could have dealt with a rear wiper in that case. But otherwise, you like the white, you like the pixels.
I do.
This area.
It's like a flat nose.
Well, let's pop. It's got a power opening rear hatch back here and quite a bit of storage space in the back of this. You do get a false load floor. There is the subwoofer here. You get a tire mobility kit that is actually Velcroed into place. And then you get an optional privacy cargo cover that, if I can get locked into place, does cover up all your luggage back here from the view of that room window. It actually has 2 mounting ports back here on the side that I'll get to in a little bit when I do the rear seat review, because that rear seat is probably one of my favorite rear seats in the game. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Just leave it there, stop trying.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's got plugs.
Yep, so there's
side.
a 12-volt outlet on that side. This is actually so you can access the charge port information here on this side, because this does have a power opening door here for, it's probably not going to do it because we are running, but it does have a power opening charge port here on the rear of the vehicle, which for our constant flow of different vehicles coming in and out, the rear is not my favorite place for the charge port, but we've been able to adapt quite well to that back here.
Yeah.
Have to ask, the hatch opens wide enough. I'm not hitting my head at 5'10". What say you?
It's pretty tall, but I can reach it.
All right, well, why don't I hop inside real quick, show off some features I like, as well as get your opinions on a few. I'm thinking of one in particular, and then we will hit the road.
Okay.
All right, Holly, I bet I can already guess your favorite feature of the inside of this car, because I tested this a week before we ever got it, and this feature came up. But you tell me, what do you really like about the inside of this car? Yes?
These little succulents.
So they are magnetic. That is a magnetic pad to the left of the gauge screen, and you can put anything there. It does come with these little succulents, but I've put my GT Garage Talk logo up there just to see if it would work, and works quite well. What are your really quick thoughts? We'll talk more as we drive on seat comfort in this car.
It's really comfortable.
Yep.
Really nice.
Pop quiz here on camera. Real leather or no?
Because you're asking me, I'm going to say no. But I wouldn't be able to get, I would say yes.
So these are dubbed leatherette seats by Hyundai themselves, but come in this nice cream color. This is actually a quote unquote green interior because of the green accents here on the doors and dash. But you get nice switch gear here on the doors. You get a very unique door pocket grab handle here, in that this entire thing is how you grab it and pull it shut. It is illuminated back here with your mood lighting, as are the surrounds around the speaker grills here on the side. You get 2 12.3-inch screens, one for your gauge cluster and one for your infotainment. Some more buttons up front here for your climate controls. Not everything actually has a button, which is a detriment to me, I think. I'll bring that up later, but I really also like, and I think you do as well, the sliding center console. Can you give us a quick demonstration of how that works? So yes, this entire center console slides forward and back, and in it you get a couple cup holders. Back here on the back side you get 2 USB ports. I'm actually going to pull it forward, and your phone is currently sitting in the Qi wireless charger. To plug into CarPlay and Android Auto, you have to use the USB port up there, but there's some additional storage there as well. And then this part actually lifts up, so you can put more stuff down there. It held 2 vases of flowers for Mother's Day quite well, and then there's some interior storage as well. One last thing, I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod, because while this vehicle does have very rapid charging, if you find a DC fast charging station, you don't always have the luxury of a DC fast charge, and sometimes you might get stuck at a destination charger or something slower. So there is this nifty feature here. You have to push it a few times because it like asks you to make sure there's enough room in the back, and then it puts you in full-on recline mode so that you can enjoy.
Wow!
You can enjoy a extended stay as you charge your vehicle. You even get a nice little leg rest pop out on the bottom of the seat there. And because there are two-person memory seat functions here, when you are done charging, you just push the memory seat button and it pushes you back into your desired driving spot. But I'm gonna hop in the back where Tucker is right now and show you some of my favorite features of the back seat. All right, Holly, so obviously this seating position does not work for me to ride in the back, but because it is a two-person memory seat, pushing that memory seat button moves the seat forward and allows me to sit behind myself as a rear passenger. You are currently sitting in my desired seating position at 5'10". I have more than enough room sitting back behind myself here, and it is a 60-40 split bench sliding rear seat that even the seat bottom is split, so I can scoot forward while Tucker over here stays put, and it does have a very nice recline function. So this is its most upright position, and then reclining backwards, I have a nice view of the ceiling. But if Holly pushes the skylight button, this 50-50 split skylight actually does open up. It is a fixed in place glass roof that gives me a wonderful view of the sky. Dark tinted, so it does not get too hot back here. Because of the center console being a movable center console, there are no air vents in it. They're actually here in the B-pillar. But you do get a couple of USB-A ports down here, as well as a little additional storage. The green door panels continue from the front with this large door pull that we mentioned earlier, and some more of the pixelated design from the front doors that we didn't even really touch on. Rear passengers get manual sunshade peasant blockers, as I like to call them, back here in the back, which really works well. Having Tucker back here helps keep him in the shade. All told, it is a very comfortable interior, and that is mostly because the wheelbase on this, space between the front wheels and the rear wheels, is 4 inches larger than Hyundai's 3-row Palisade SUV, which means more interior space in this than a typical mid-size sedan, and we'll talk more about how that translates into the ride as Holly drives us around Tyler, but a very roomy cabin for sure. All right, gearheads, child seat installation here in the IONIQ5 is actually fairly easy. And these light-colored seats so far, after a week of testing, have proven to not really be a problem. But again, that's after 1 week's worth of testing. Let's get that car seat in here. Standard Graco front-facing car seat. We will drop the rear anchor back behind, get this into place. The lower tethers are very easy to find and latch, especially because they are black against this light colored seating surface, and reaching across isn't as easy, but finding them right down here, clicking them into place, that's secure. And thanks to its 60-40 slide function, you can actually slide it forward to get that rear anchor on the back and tighten it down into place, slide it back into place. Very easy. Tucker's loved it so far. It's been a very good family vehicle. Let's get in and see how it performs out on the road with Holly behind the wheel. Setting off in the IONIQ5. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I am ready.
So, what are your thoughts first on that gear selector?
I'm hungry.
Tucker's hungry. Okay. But Mommy, what are your thoughts on the gear selector?
Not my fave.
Yeah,
but I'm getting used to it.
Very similar to
Yeah.
the wiper stock there. But other than that, I mean, they really don't have many places to put it with this sliding center console. So
I got you.
compromises, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me about the succulents again. I like those.
I know you do. So we're in an EV. We are at 98% charge right now, 239 miles of range in eco mode as we are set. The window sticker does say 256 miles of total range.
Okay, you have the thing.
Yes, I do. I was wondering if you would notice. So this
Yes.
does have true one pedal driving.
Did I change that right?
Yeah, that you can adjust with the paddles on the back of the steering wheel that have 4 modes off, where it basically drives like a normal vehicle.
Why do we not go up there to record?
Because we decided to record down here. So you've got off, which drives like a normal vehicle. It rolls when you take your foot off the brake. It acts just like a normal vehicle. And then progressive stages all the way up to 4, which is I-pedal, as they call it, which is true one pedal driving that actually uses the motors to slow you down, basically working in reverse, putting power back into the battery pack
Hit is wobbly.
for
On this road?
for extra power that increases your range as you drive down the road and saves wear and tear on your actual brakes. But you're not so much a fan?
I mean, I think
If we had it
if
for
we
longer?
had it for longer and I would, I was used to driving that, I think I would really like that feature. But no. I do have it on level 1 though.
Okay.
I don't have it off. So
One thing I will note, I have been driving around in full I-pedal, one pedal driving mode, and if you switch into reverse and back into drive, it puts you in level 3. It doesn't put you in I-pedal. Every time you start the vehicle up and start driving around, it puts you in level 3. So it does not stick and hold in one pedal driving. That is a intentional decision that is made every time you drive this vehicle. So I will note that, but it does remember if you have it completely off every time you go through.
Yeah.
But what are your initial thoughts on drivability of this car? You took it to Mineola and back. You've had quite a bit of time behind the wheel without me to persuade you in
any way.
So what are your thoughts?
You don't persuade me.
Gently lead. Just go ahead. Just go.
I love it. Love.
Really?
Love driving this car.
Really? That makes...
I feel
Makes
fancy. Well, but and I've said this before, I do like driving cars that are not seen on the road very often. I had the Mini Cooper, and that was even before, now I feel like Mini Coopers you see everywhere. But when I got it, you really didn't. And then it was a fun color. And there weren't a lot of fun colors of cars at that time when Mini Cooper was coming out. So anyway, I love driving cars that you don't see every day. But I really like this car. I like the steering wheel.
Has a flat bottom, but it is
flat bottom.
Good level of chunk to it, right?
Yes, it does. So it kind of feels like a race car steering wheel.
Yeah.
Feel real cool in it. Don't love the tech, like all the screens at the front. That's not my favorite. I've already had some tech issues with the mirrors didn't come out for some reason. I don't know if that's something I did.
So it does have power folding mirrors that will fold into place when the vehicle is locked and you walk away. There is a button there on the driver's door to actuate that yourself. But yeah, something happened there. They don't move while you're driving or in drive. So for you to fix that, you had to pull over and hit the button and then set back off.
Right.
Climate controls are in a very good location, very easy to point and direct towards us. Comfort in here.
It's so comfortable.
And so quiet too.
So quiet, so comfortable. There's so many different seat settings. You know,
Including
the
your
lumbar
favorite
support.
lumbar, yeah.
I love it. But then it's got the sides that come up that kind of like really hug your back.
Yes.
So you could definitely drive a long way in this vehicle and be very comfortable.
238 miles. That's a right now.
238 miles in this vehicle and be very comfortable. I like something else that you kind of glazed over earlier.
Okay.
Is there's so many textures in here that when I was driving it, I was like, oh, that's different. Well, what does this one feel like? So, which is nice because it just gives it's just more interesting and more character.
Yes. So lots of texture. You've got texture here in front of me that is nowhere else. You've got more of the green here, green on the dash, cream on the sides. You haven't even really gotten
You got like this little netting stuff.
You haven't even gotten to experience it at night where it lights up all glowy all that much, but very nice. And then I discovered how enormous the glove box is. It goes way back there.
Well, and it has a little cubby right there.
Right, in the door.
The door, which is really nice because you could put your insurance card, your owner's manual in there and then put like maybe some bigger stuff.
Yep. And then I mentioned the storage down under the USB port. Tons of storage just right here. I was able to put 2 vases of flowers right there, no problem. And then more storage here inside. But going back to the ride of this and how smooth it is, we just went over railroad tracks, didn't even know it. I mentioned when I was sitting in the back seat, the wheelbase being 4 inches longer than the 3-row Palisade. So you mix that with the extra weight of the batteries and the low center of gravity because the batteries are underneath us on the floor. And this thing rides like a very large, very premium vehicle. It is a very comfortable cruiser.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't feel huge.
Right. It does not feel big, but it rides like a big vehicle and is very comfortable.
Well, let's talk about...
Okay.
There's no place to put your phone right here.
I mean, I've got mine in the cup holders.
Yeah, okay,
this.
but what if you have a drink?
Well, then
You know,
you've got
I know
the Qi
you have
wireless
it down
charger.
there, but here I am trying to turn on my podcast, which I know you can do it with the screen.
Right.
Yes, you can. But I listened to so many podcasts, and it flipped off to one, and it only showed... And again, maybe this is something I will figure out, but it's tech stuff. It only shows you the most recent episodes.
Yep.
And I was like several episodes down, so I had to go to my phone, find it, click it back, and finally like realized I'm listening to this one podcast, just thousands of this one podcast episode. I'm catching up. And finally figured that out, but I did need my phone, and I didn't like that there's nothing like right here that I could just like...
It's almost like they could have put a bench seat
Probably
in here.
wrong, though. You shouldn't be texting.
No, you shouldn't. But I feel like they could have put a bench seat here. Like maybe some pop-out cup holders, either from the front of the seat or underneath here. And like you could have had 6 people right in this. I don't know. It just seems kind of weird.
You
But
have 3 people in the front?
Yeah. You know, old school. I grew up in a Chevy Caprice that my grandparents drove that had 3 across up front. And, you know, that's the way things used to be. But my nitpicks here with the technology, the ventilated seats, to get to that, you have to hit the climate button. Then on the screen, go to front vent warmer, and then you have the buttons here on the screen to control that. They don't remember that you had them on every time you get out and back in, which is a huge knock here in East Texas. It's May, and let's see, what's the outside temperature? It's warm,
86,
86 already. And so that's a nitpick for me, but otherwise it's pretty good, easy system to use. The cameras work very well, not obviously while we're driving, but bird's eye 360, all that good stuff.
Well, you do have the camera when you have your blinker on that pops up. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. And you also have a notification when you have somebody in your blind spot on the heads-up display. which I like that.
Heads-up display, we didn't even talk about that. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's just an old feature now.
So in my solo review of this, I did my best to capture the highway drive assist functions of that heads-up display. Unfortunately, due to like refresh of the camera or the screen or something, it looks like it's fading in or out. Trust me, it is a solid picture to the human eye, but gives you all the necessary information up there. I really like the augmented reality function of the turn-by-turn navigation and just all kinds of good stuff up there. The tech in this is really well thought out. There are some things that are maybe a shortcoming that perhaps they can come up and fix.
Something else that it does, that I've heard it does, because I did not do this, but if you're going over 5 miles over the speed limit, the little speed limit sign on the heads-up display turns red.
Yes, it does.
I hear.
Yes.
That I have not experienced.
And that is actually a programmable function in the screen here. You can set its warning for your speed limit to nothing, 1, 3, and 5, I believe.
I like it.
But that reminds me, you had asked about the door handles. Yes, sir.
Okay, so, Mommy, how do lights turn on in this car?
I will, but it's not dark enough. We're going to do the wobbly head test right now. So you want to do the wobbly head test? All right, so we are on the brick streets here in East Texas. Again, longer wheelbase in this, so kind of flattens out some of these. The noise you're hearing is just stuff we've brought with us. It's very quiet interior. And that's all Tucker's toys. How wobbly is your head back there, T-Man?
It's steel.
It's still?
Steel, no wobble?
Now it's wobbling.
Now just a little. You're being silly back there. But even here on some of the worst sections of this road and the very old train tracks that are decommissioned, it's not jarring you to death.
No.
My head was wobbling a bunch that time.
That time it was.
All right, so I am going through the vehicle settings here because you were asking about the doors and how the handles actually work. So approach to unlock, door handles will automatically pop out. So that is something you can turn on and off, but it will do all 4 door handles, much like if you unlocked the vehicle, all 4 door handles are still available to be open. It's just a little more visually obvious that the door is unlocked.
Well,
that's all I
are
really
they
see
all
here.
unlocked?
Yeah, it says door handles will rise and unlock when the smart key is nearby. So you can turn that on and off, but that's all you can really do there. And then the drive mode screen over by you does change with each drive mode. It goes red for sport mode, which we haven't even really done any acceleration with Tucker or you behind the wheel in this one. Fortunately, we're downtown, but this thing does have a lot of get up and go to it. But customizable drive screen there, and this actually can switch between a black or a white background, but the black is a little more pleasing to the eyes. What say you?
Yeah, I like it. It's easy. It's easy to read. I would need some more time to play with the tech for sure.
Yeah, because again, there's just so much in this, and finding that sweet spot. You do have a couple driver profiles, so if there are things I liked that you didn't, we can set them accordingly. So yes, very comfortable interior on every type of road surface, including these historic brick streets down here in Tyler, Texas. Very comfortable ride, but this is an EV. I'm wondering maybe if we could find a break in the traffic, if you could just show off a little how quickly. You're not even in sport mode, so you are in eco, which really lends itself to more of a rear drive bias in this anyway.
Oh, here.
Instant torque though, and it's a lot of fun. What do you think, Tucker?
Was that fun?
You like when we go fast in this car? Uh-huh.
Yeah, but why do we not go faster?
Well, that's your mommy. Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
Was that good? I like to go the speed limit, that's why.
You can go the speed limit. You just get there very quickly.
Very quickly.
Which makes
there were a couple of times when I was driving it that it was nice to be able to
just
whip up there around traffic.
Yeah, the 400 plus pound-feet of instantaneous torque in this make for great, comfortable cruising and easy passing of vehicles. You don't have to wait for the transmission to shift. You just put your foot down and go.
Just put your foot down and go.
And like I said, you're in eco mode right now, so that really disconnects that front motor for the most part, making this a rear drive vehicle. It will use that for additional traction if and when needed, but if you put it in all-out sport mode, it uses both motors, gives you all the power right away, and really sets you off and helps you drive very quickly in this. 320 horsepower makes this thing go really quickly and nicely. What are your final thoughts? I know you really like it. You've had fun with the style and the power and some of the tech, but not all of it. What are your thoughts? Is this something that could translate to our lives? Could this be potentially our first electric vehicle?
Yeah, I could see it. How much is it?
So this one stickers for $55 as it sits. Again, one of the top trims. It does have the dual motor in it, which I would want because it does have the H-Track all-wheel drive in it. Just extra security when the weather gets really bad for traction and stability. Plus, it makes it faster and more fun.
Yeah.
So, but you think this...
I like the versatility of it and the functionality. A little small.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as electric vehicles go, this has been my favorite one.
To that end, of this being a little bit small, this is built on what is called a skateboard platform. Basically, you've got the batteries and the wheels and the motors, and you can size that up or down accordingly, or Hyundai designers and engineers can, to make any size vehicle they want. And Hyundai and Kia are already teasing the 3-row crossover EV that we will get from both of those brands, which, again, same 800-volt architecture, dual motor setup. So we like everything about this, but maybe not so much the size. They're already looking forward to that, so I'm looking forward to that. Good to know that you think that this could translate to our daily lives.
Yeah, definitely.
What say you, Tucker? Do you think we could keep this one? Do you really like this car? Yeah, you sound a little sad. Why?
Because it's gonna leave tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one goes back tomorrow, but I'm very excited about what we get next. And if you are interested in what we are driving now or next, find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where you'll get some sneak peeks before the videos are here on YouTube. Be sure and subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, both of my solo reviews and our family reviews, to see how they translate to our daily lives. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Gearheads, bye. Good job, Z-Man. I'm ready.
Okay.
Sitting behind myself, and you cannot see the top of my head.